Fellas, you know Degree Cool Rush deodorant, right? Well, last year they changed the formula, and guys were mad about it. One dude even started a petition. So guess what? Degree heard us, admitted they messed up, and brought the original Cool Rush scent back exactly how it was. And it's in Walmart, Target, and other stores now for under $4. So grab some and remember why its cool, crisp, and fresh scent made it the #1 men's antiperspirant for the last decade. Degree Cool Rush is back, and it smells like victory for all of us.
The last thing you want to hear when you need your auto insurance most is a robot with countless irrelevant menu options. Which is why with USAA Auto Insurance, you'll get great service that is easy and reliable, all at the touch of a button. Get a quote today. Restrictions apply.
USAA. Hilton brings you new ways to stay. With experiences that let you capture the glory days. Introducing the Graduate Hotels. Each inspired by local college towns, these stays are always original and never boring. Get in touch with traditions all across the country and enjoy a stay that's a class above the rest. Book at Graduate Hotels with Hilton Honors Points at Hilton.com. It's a win-win. Hilton, for the stay.
From the Fifth Quarter Studio in Madison, Wisconsin, you're listening to the Coaching Youth Hoops Podcast.
They're playing basketball.
Basketball. Here's our hosts, Steve Collins. And Bill Flitter.
All right, welcome to Coaching Youth Hoops.
Coach,
how are you?
Dude, you're deep into your not deep into your season. You just started.
You see my hat I'm wearing? You see what it says?
No, I was wondering what that was. No.
Read it. What does it say?
Park hopping is my cardio. Nice.
So anybody who's listening, it's a Disney thing. I took so much credit work for it today. So it says park hopping is my cardio. So any of you
are a Disney geek.
I am. It's the only. It is one of the few places. There are two places in the world that I have found where I shut off. So you've known me for a while.
Yeah.
I don't shut off. I'm part vampire.
Right.
Like I don't. There's no off.
I don't know how you do it. Yeah.
But Disney World and Sanibel Island, the name of our two dogs, are the two places that I can unplug and just enjoy. And they're different. One's relaxing and one is like full commando. Like Disney World is not like that.
Yeah.
That is not a coming back rested trip. Sanibel is coming back and I feel like I feel rested. So but anyway, I thought you'd enjoy that.
I was trying to read that before. Yeah.
What is today's topic? Today's topic came from our Facebook group, I believe, right?
It did. Yeah.
You should go join our Facebook group. Go to Facebook and look up Coaching Youth Hoops. Come join the great community over there. But what was the topic?
Dealing with a ball hog. So you have a player on your team, and we've all had it, right? He's really good. She's really good, and doesn't trust his or her teammates, so it doesn't pass, right? Tries to do everything, tries to win the game. And you see this more in the middle school. I think obviously you get to high school, it's a little bit easier to control.
Well, I think you see it at the elementary too, and I don't think it's as
that's
malicious.
What I mean. Is that what
I don't think it's as malicious at the elementary level, because I think sometimes kids are more skilled, and they're not trying to be the ball hog, but they're also trying to keep things moving. At least that's what I've seen in the past. And again, exceptions to every rule, but
correct. But I think what happens, right, as you know, it's the balance. Well, one, you don't want anybody just in a grade school game, right, hogging the ball so everybody else doesn't play. But you got to keep those other kids motivated. Yet, he's really good. He probably can at that level. A lot of times, one person can win the game for you, right? So how do you deal with that? What would you tell that young person? What's the ongoing conversation? When do you get the parents involved? How do you deal with the other team members?
I think it depends on the maturity of the player in a lot of respects from a teaching standpoint. But I think you have to challenge them to do if they're dominating the ball, then you have to challenge them to work on other aspects of their game. It's kind of like, maybe you have a reader and they're not good at math or vice versa. Like you want to, at least I have found it, some of the great players that I did that are just so dominated the ball. Like, all right, well, how about we're going to spend a quarter and just work on defense. Like, can you stop so-and-so for me? Can you try to do that? Like, blah, blah. So I think you got to give them other tasks to do. I think that's what I have found to be very helpful. Because you don't want to shut down their love of it, right? But you also want to and I've made all right, everyone's got to touch the ball before we shoot, blah blah blah. It's like there are things like that I have done, but yeah.
Yeah, I think those are those are really good, two really good suggestions. I think you need to also emphasize team play.
It's a good idea.
Emphasize this is a team sport, and so you're not calling anyone out, but it's a team sport. And then what does that mean, right? Explain to the kids what a team sport means. Everybody plays a part. Now, what I talk about too is, not everybody's going to score, and I know that's a huge marker for success, right? Or that's what we think it is. But you could be a great passer, right? You could be a great defense, right? You could be a great stopper. So everybody contributes in some way. I had a kid the other day that fouled out. He goes, "Does that mean I'm out of the game?" And I said, "No, you're not out of the game. You'd be the biggest cheerleader right now on the bench, right? You're still in the game." So there's different aspects you can teach the kids.
I think there's teachable moments here. And I think there's teachable moments for the other kids too.
That's right.
About what can your roles be and how can you, but again, I think there's such a fine line here too. It's like, when you're dealing with a 9-year-old, it's a little different than dealing with a 19-year-old. Like the conversation.
Honestly, though, a lot of, oh, sorry, I thought you were done.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say a lot of times too, I find that always exceptions they are a little bit more advanced in other things as well, and a little bit more mature. So sometimes, again, depending, I probably went through this in 3rd grade, but maybe 6th, 7th, and 8th, and they said, "Hey, doing a great job. Love the way you can take over a game." But Addison is trying to work on X, Y, and Z, right? In order for her to do that, we need to get her the ball this possession, or at least a couple touches, right? Can we work on that today in this game, right? So and just reinforce that team. Now, what if they don't? What if they stop? What if they just, do you take them out? Have a conversation with them?
I definitely think you have conversations with them. Yes, I think it is. I think it's not yelling across the gym. It's putting your arm around them and saying, "Hey, Addison hasn't touched the ball in a couple of times. Let's try to get her the ball. Let's try to get her a layup. You think you could get her a layup? Blah, blah, blah." It's like, and again, there's a huge difference between a 2nd grader and an 8th grader. The discussion I can have with an 8th grader is like, he's taken the last 7 shots and 1 has gone in.
That's the other thing, right? Yeah, we're not saying this ball hog is making them all either, right? They could be a ball hog and just be awful
and bad,
right?
and bad too. Yeah. And you can always pull them out. Like you can always there won't be a ball hog sitting next to you. So there's always that. The bench, rest in peace, Bobby Knight, but he always said the greatest teacher is the bench.
Yeah. I had a bench
for the older kids.
Day.
What?
I had a bench kid the other day. He was frustrated, and it was towards the end of the game, and we were losing, and the other team had a breakaway layup in midair. My kid is huge; he's bigger than me, and the other kid is tiny, and he midair pushed him.
No,
kid goes fly, got a technical, and at that point we had. Again, this is a youth game. This is 8th grade boys. We had 5 players. One was hurt on the bench. The other one fouled out already. So we had 2 on the bench. So I pulled them. So they were playing with 4. I'm like, that's not what we do, not way to play. And then I'm hearing his mom saying, "Hey, coach, there's only 4 people." I'm like, I know.
Yep.
Yeah, I know.
This is
Just
bigger
not that way.
than basketball.
Yeah,
I know.
it's
I know
bigger
the
than basketball.
rules. I know the rules. Yes, I know the rules. Thank you, Sally. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Anything else, Coach?
No. Again, just to recap, have a conversation, with him. Ask him or her to, reinforce that it's a team game and a team sport. I mean, everybody, right? Explain what that means and your definition of what you want them to do as far as a team. And then if it continues, I think the consequence in there is just you got to bench them, right? And have a conversation. And, have a plan. If you're trying to get other people involved, like you said, X number of passes before any shot. Everybody needs to touch the ball, etc.
I love that. 2 things. Make sure you go over and check out our Facebook group at Coaching Youth Hoops. Put that in our Facebook groups and go over and check out coachingyouthhoops.com.
Everything you need for your season. Everything.
Yep. Won't tell you how to park hop at Disney World, but it will tell you everything else.
Yeah.
All right. Until next week.
All right. See you, Coach.
And then when they're 17, there's just that change of you tend to see a lot of this, and that's just purely observational. I don't disagree.
I don't disagree with that. I think what it takes is a lot of reps to shoot the ball correctly.
Yes.
But like I said, I have a 3rd grade girl who can shoot the ball, and she's a tiny little thing. She can do layups. Now she can't stop shooting threes, and we just started working on regular layups because at that age, they move up the line on
Right.
layup. She can hit the rim and make, maybe 1 out of 5 right now.
Right.
But she knows how to shoot with her legs the way you should be shooting.
Yes.
She has the proper form already.
Right.
Amazing. Right. Anyway, but pivoting, I think it's like some footwork stuff in there. Let me ask you a different question. Okay, so now we know your number 1 thing is ball handling. Is that correct? That's what you said, right?
Yeah, I don't think you've changed my mind, but yes.
No. So let's go top 3 now. So if I'm a youth coach, these are going to be my daily vitamins, right? So 1 is ball handling, which is different than dribbling, by the way, in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay. Ball handling, dribbling, whatever. It's the same thing. Dribbling, just like when we're old. I would say 2 is defense.
How'd you get those balloons?
I have no idea where those balloons came from. Did you just see that?
Yeah. Is your birthday?
No. Anyway, I don't know how that happened. Anyway, we'll see if that actually shows up. Anybody that's listening, there's like balloons just happened on my thing. I don't know why that happened. Happy birthday. That's not my birthday. I would say defense, and then I would put shooting. So I would put the defensive fundamentals would be my 2nd skill, I think.
Okay.
But ahead of like rebounding or passing, or I think the defensive principles, like help line on the ball. Yeah. And then I would put shooting 3rd. Probably not the normal answer, but that's what I think.
Yeah. So ball handling, defensive principles, and then shooting.
Yep.
Is that what I heard?
In the elementary level.
At the elementary level. Yeah. Well, Coach Mark, he agrees with you. Dribbling and man defense principles were his 2. Again, this is off our Facebook group.
Yeah.
I love this answer. To love basketball.
Hopefully that's
right. But that kind of goes to my argument, right? Ball goes in, I get excited. I love basketball, right?
Right. No, I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you. You made me think about it from a different standpoint.
There's a lot of answers: layups, ball handling, defense, work as a team. Good one. Pivoting.
Footwork could be in there at the younger level. Even knowing at the young levels, they don't even know how to run in some respects. Their gait is bad. You can teach them how to run. Like, here's how we run down the court. But I know I love that. So this is the reason you should go over and join the Facebook group. I'm going to just circle back to the beginning of the podcast because you can jump in on this discussion. I'm sure this has been popping at the top of the discussion board for a while. Anything else on this, Coach?
No, I again, I think this was a great discussion because it is hard when you have one or two practices. What do you focus on? You have so much to focus on. And teaching them, and if you obviously can combine drills where you're working on multiple tasks at the same time, that's always better. But yeah, this is had quite a few. It was a big discussion on the Facebook group. So
go over and join it. Facebook group. All right, till next week, Coach.
Till next week.
Hey, everybody. Coach Bill and I have a secret. First of all, we're giving away an IC3 basketball shot trainer. It's awesome. It's like a $500 value. Thank you, Dr. Dish. So if you want a chance to be able to win that, go over to basketballblackfriday.com. We're going to do some special things on Black Friday, so we want to let you know about them. Go over there, register, get a chance to win that IC3 basketball shot trainer, and find out the secret. All right, have a great day.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.